She will also demonstrate. One car to do it all. AKS, high power spec L. Is it sport? Is it practical? This is one big bag. Let's see the size of it. So height is over 60 centimeters, 62 centimeters. Width almost 60 centimeters wide, and depth over 70 centimeters, and it easily fits. And then you have room to spare. So that one big bag, bags there, buckets here, and still some room to spare. So that's also the answer why a hot hatchback, because you still have two seats, fully functional, fully reclined. It's so much more practical than a roadster or a coupe or a sedan. Why the hot hatchback is such a super cool compromise. So you have two seats fully functional at the front, as you can see here, and massive loading space. And a badass driving experience, of course. She will also demonstrate. One car to do it all. AKS, high power spec L. As you might be able to hear, I have a lot of greens in this car. I'm taking them to the dump. And this is why the hot hatch is the best of all, in my opinion. The best compromise, because you get excellent performance. And I will show you how much storage space it has. Still two functional seats. So you could take a passenger and still haul a lot of material, even very big material. So there's an extremely big bag in this car, 72 centimeters in depth, over 60 centimeters in width, and also in height. One big chunk, and still sits in there easily. Also I put a lot of additional buckets in there, and even a big bag in addition to that. Still have two seats functionality and the hot hatch experience. So you get all that practicality in a car that drives like a sports car in many dimensions. So I'm not saying all, in this case it's a front engine, front wheel drive car, and some of you will tell me, oh, that's not a pure type of sports car. But when it has higher cornering speeds than your Miata, I think this is an excellent sports car. And also a lot more torque, of course, that you can just puddle around with, like we are doing now, but also use to gain speed very rapidly. Also full bucket seats in the front, and seats 5, if you don't carry so much load as I'm doing now. Because if you do, of course, there is less carryability for passengers, because the back seat is folded down. It's also extremely light, less than 1,000 kilograms, which makes it even more sporting experience, in my opinion. And I nice exhaust note, especially for a modern type of car. So I'm now having to wait a little bit because I'm driving the dump. But you can see this extremely big bag here. Other bags, it's hard to see, but also the passenger seat is still empty. You see that you have so much room, and I will demonstrate it once we can show you a little bit more, of course. And now I'm sitting behind that big truck. It's just waiting there, I guess. That's the start-stop system you see demonstrated here. It's also very nice to reduce unnecessary. Just pop the clutch and it goes again. Unnecessary fuel. I'm gonna drop it like that. So now I'll show you what we got here. And even more bags. So in this video we will tell you why the Humble Hot Hatch is your best bet into performance land if you only have the ability to drive one car and you are not filthy rich. If you're richer, there are better alternatives even than the Hot Hatch, which have all the strengths of the Hot Hatch, but are a little bit bigger and more powerful. For example, the power station wagons. And one example to mention here is the Audi RS6 or its smaller nephew RS4. Those are very capable, big cars that are enormously practical, but also enormously performance-wise. That's put aside, why is the Hot Hatch far more superior if you're not that wealthy? Well, they are of course attainable. You could buy a very old RS wagon for the price of a new Hot Hatch, especially if you go into the lighter regions. I'm driving now the Suzuki Swift Sport, which is in my opinion currently the best game in performance land that you can acquire. And why is that? Because it is extremely light and therefore you don't have to pay so much additional taxes, which you do with more heavy cars that are also less fuel efficient. So you also get a quite fuel efficient package with all the light benefits of a real sports car. They are below 1000 kilograms and they are able to carry enormous loads. There are some videos on my channel which demonstrate that, but they are also capable of taking a lot of passengers, so up to 5 passengers, which is a lot better than roadsters and coupes alike. And they drive very nice. They are not extremely expensive, so you have one car that can do it all. Have a great day. Peace out, Foundry.